Listen carefully. There is a reason you clicked on this message, a reason you could not scroll past, a reason your spirit felt something before your mind could explain it. For a long time, you have been walking through seasons that made no sense. Doors closed. People changed. Relationships disappeared. Prayers seemed to rise into silence. And there were nights when you looked toward heaven and wondered if God still saw you. You smiled in front of people, but deep inside you were carrying questions. Questions nobody knew about. Questions you could not put into words. Why has the road been so difficult? Why do I feel different? Why do I feel alone, even when surrounded by people? Why has God allowed so much pain? Hear this clearly. Many people see your current situation, but they do not see your preparation. They see the struggle, but they do not see the strengthening. They see the waiting, but they do not see what God is building inside of you. The hidden season is never wasted. The lonely season is never wasted. The painful season is never wasted. God often does his deepest work where nobody can see it. And that is where many of you have been. He separated, refined, prepared. Today, this message is not about fear. It is about readiness, not panic, preparation, not confusion, understanding. Because sometimes before a major shift occurs in your life, God allows a season of silence. A season where nothing appears to move. A season where the promise seems distant. A season where the breakthrough feels impossible. But beneath the surface, everything is changing. And the people who doubted you cannot see it. The people who left cannot see it. The people who betrayed you cannot see it. Yet heaven sees it, God sees it. Every tear, every prayer. Every moment you chose faith when giving up would have been easier. Listen carefully. Something happens when God prepares a chosen person. He separates them before he elevates them. He strengthens them before he sends them. He develops them before he reveals them. The process is painful, but the purpose is powerful. And perhaps that explains why your journey has looked different from everyone else's. You have felt misunderstood. You have felt overlooked. You have felt forgotten. But maybe you were never forgotten. Maybe you were being prepared for a moment you could not yet understand. Prepared for an assignment bigger than your comfort. Prepared for a destiny larger than your fears. The world calls it delay. God calls it development. The world calls it isolation. God calls it preparation. The world calls it rejection. God calls it protection. And now you are beginning to see what once seemed impossible. You are beginning to understand why certain people had to leave. Why certain doors had to close. Why certain battles had to happen. Because not everyone can go where God is taking you. Not everyone can walk into the next season. Not everyone can carry the weight of your calling. Sometimes God removes people before they can interfere with what he is building. Sometimes he allows separation before elevation. Sometimes he permits heartbreak because he sees a future you cannot yet see. And that future requires a stronger version of you, a wiser version of you, a more faithful version of you. The pain was not the end of your story. It was preparation for the next chapter. Listen carefully. Some of the greatest work God does happens in hidden places. Places where applause does not exist. Places where recognition never arrives. Places where nobody notices the battle except heaven. That hidden place can feel lonely, very lonely. You watch others move ahead. You watch others receive opportunities. You watch others celebrate victories. Meanwhile, you continue waiting, praying, believing, enduring. And sometimes you begin to wonder if your turn will ever come. But there is something important you must understand. God's timing rarely matches human timing. We want immediate answers. God develops lasting character. We want quick results. God builds strong foundations. We want visible progress. God often works invisibly first. Think about a tree. Long before it grows high above the ground, roots are growing beneath the surface. Nobody celebrates the roots. Nobody admires the roots. Yet without roots, there is no future growth. And perhaps that is where you are today. Root season, hid season, preparation season, the season where God is building strength nobody else can see. The season where your faith is being tested. The season where your endurance is being developed. The season where your trust is becoming deeper than circumstances. Hear this clearly. Your hidden season is not proof that God abandoned you. It may be proof that God is preparing you. Every disappointment taught something. Every betrayal revealed something. Every hardship strengthened something. Every setback developed something. Nothing was wasted. Not the tears, not the waiting, not the loneliness, not the heartbreak. God can use every chapter of your story, even the chapters you wish never happened, especially those chapters, because suffering has a way of revealing strength you never knew existed. Pain has a way of exposing what truly matters. And silence has a way of teaching trust. Many people only want the promise. Few people embrace the process. Many want the crown. Few endure the preparation. Many want the breakthrough. Few remain faithful during the waiting. But the chosen learn something powerful. They learn how to keep believing when evidence is absent. They learn how to keep praying when answers are delayed. They learn how to keep walking when the road grows difficult. And that kind of faith changes a person forever. You are not who you were a year ago. Not because life became easier, but because God used every challenge to build something stronger inside you, something deeper, something unshakable. And one day you will look back and realize that the season you thought was breaking you was actually building you. The season you thought was punishment was preparation. The season you thought was loss was protection. The season you thought was delay was development. Listen carefully. There is something that happens before every major breakthrough. Before elevation comes transformation. Before promotion comes preparation. Before the new season arrives, the old version of you must be left behind. And that process is not easy. It is not comfortable. It is not painless. In fact, it often feels like everything is falling apart. You may have noticed it already. Things that once excited you no longer satisfy you. Places that once felt familiar now feel strange. Conversations that once seemed important now feel empty. People you once trusted suddenly seem distant. The old life no longer fits. Yet the new life has not fully appeared. And so you find yourself standing in the middle, between what was and what will be, between the familiar and the unknown, between yesterday and tomorrow. This is one of the hardest places for a faithful person to stand, because transformation often feels like confusion before it feels like clarity. God begins changing things inside of you before he changes things around you. The world sees the outside. God works on the inside. The world focuses on appearance. God focuses on the heart. And when God begins preparing someone for greater purpose, he often starts with what nobody else can see. Hear this clearly. The battle has never only been around you. The battle has also been within you. Fear versus faith, doubt versus trust, discouragement versus hope, the old mindset versus the new calling. The struggle has not been meaningless. Every challenge has been exposing something. Every setback has been revealing something. Every difficult season has been teaching something. God has been showing you what must remain and what must go. Some habits had to go, some fears had to go, some relationships had to go, some distractions had to go, not because God wanted to hurt you, but because God wanted to prepare you. At first, it feels like loss. At first, it feels unfair. At first, it feels painful. But later you discover it was preparation. Many people have misunderstood your journey. Some called you different. Some called you strange. Some could not understand why your priorities changed. Some could not understand why you no longer fit into certain places. But transformation often creates separation. When your spirit grows, your surroundings sometimes change. When your vision expands, old limitations become uncomfortable. When your purpose becomes clearer, certain relationships become harder to maintain. Not everyone will understand the changes happening inside you. And that is okay. The chosen path has never been the popular path. It has often been the lonely path. Yet it remains the path where purpose is discovered, the path where strength is developed, the path where destiny unfolds. Hear this clearly. Your loneliness has not been meaningless. Many of your greatest lessons were learned in silence. Many of your deepest prayers were prayed in isolation. Many of your strongest moments were born when nobody was watching. The world celebrates public victories. Heaven sees private endurance. The world applauds the outcome. God honors the faithfulness. And you have been faithful, even when exhausted, even when confused, even when discouraged. You kept moving forward. You kept believing. You kept trusting, not perfectly, but faithfully. And that matters more than you realize. There were nights when you almost gave up, nights when the pressure felt unbearable, nights when tears became prayers, nights when words failed and only faith remained. Yet somehow you continued. Somehow you stood again. Somehow you found strength. That strength did not come from you alone. God was sustaining you, even when you could not feel it, even when you could not see it, even when you questioned it. God was carrying you through the valley, and now you are beginning to understand something powerful. You survived what was supposed to destroy you. You endured what was meant to stop you. You overcame what was designed to discourage you, not because you are perfect, but because God's hand remained upon your life. Listen carefully. Do not allow temporary pain to convince you that permanent defeat is your future. The chapter is difficult, but the story is not finished. The battle is real, but the battle is not final. The waiting is frustrating, but the waiting is not forever. There is still purpose ahead. There is still growth ahead. There is still victory ahead. You have already come too far to quit now. Think about everything you have survived, every disappointment, every rejection, every setback, every heartbreak, every difficult season, every unanswered question, every painful goodbye. You are still here, still standing, still believing, still moving forward. That alone is evidence of strength. That alone is evidence of grace. That alone is evidence that your story continues. Listen carefully. Some people left because they were only assigned to a chapter, not the entire story. Some people walked away because they were connected to your past, not your future. Some people disappeared because God was creating room for what comes next. It hurt. Of course it hurt. You cared, you invested, you believed. But not every departure is destruction. Sometimes it is redirection, sometimes it is protection, sometimes it is preparation. And one day you may look back with gratitude for doors that never opened, for relationships that never lasted, for opportunities that never happened, because God's wisdom often protects us from things we do not yet understand. What once looked like rejection was actually guidance. What once looked like failure was actually direction. What once looked like loss was actually preservation. Hear this clearly. Your future does not depend on the approval of people. It never did. Some assignments require courage. Some callings require endurance. Some destinies require faith. And faith means continuing even when certainty has not arrived. Faith means trusting during silence. Faith means believing before evidence appears. Faith means moving forward while questions remain unanswered. Listen carefully. You are not defined by your worst moment. You are not defined by your greatest mistake. You are not defined by your deepest wound. You are not defined by your past failures. Those moments happened, but they are not your identity. They are chapters, not conclusions. Lessons, not definitions. Experiences, not destiny. Your future remains unwritten. Your purpose remains alive. Your calling remains valuable. And God's work within you continues. There is a reason your spirit keeps pushing forward. There is a reason hope keeps returning. There is a reason you have not quit. Because the journey is not over. The preparation is not over. The transformation is not over. But neither is the promise, neither is the purpose, neither is the victory. Keep walking, keep believing, keep trusting, even when the road seems unclear, even when the answers seem delayed, even when progress seems invisible. God is still working. The seed beneath the soil appears inactive. Yet growth is happening. The dawn appears absent during the darkest hour. Yet the sun is approaching. The breakthrough may seem distant. Yet every step is bringing it closer. Do not measure progress only by what you see. Measure it by what God is producing within you. Greater patience, greater wisdom, greater discernment, greater courage, greater faith. These are signs of transformation. And transformation often comes before elevation. Listen carefully. This is not the end of your story. This is not where your journey ends. The pain did not have the final word. The betrayal did not have the final word. The disappointment did not have the final word. The silence did not have the final word. God is still writing your story, page by page, season by season, moment by moment. And what feels delayed today may become the testimony you share tomorrow. What feels confusing today may become the wisdom that guides others tomorrow. What feels painful today may become the source of strength that blesses others tomorrow. Do not give up now. Do not turn back now. Do not surrender now. You have endured too much. You have grown too much. You have come too far. The same God who carried you through every difficult season is still with you. The same God who sustained you in the valley is still leading you. The same God who gave you strength yesterday will give you strength tomorrow. Trust His timing. Trust His wisdom. Trust His purpose, even when you cannot see the whole picture. Especially then, because faith grows strongest when circumstances grow darkest. And hope shines brightest when the night feels longest. Hear this clearly. Your story is not over. Your purpose is not finished. Your future is still unfolding. Keep believing, keep praying, keep standing, keep trusting. And if this message spoke to your heart today, write "chosen" in the comments. Let it be a declaration of faith, a declaration of perseverance, a declaration that you will continue trusting God through every season. Strengthen your faith daily.